Hi, my name is Carl and I'm the head chef of the Venice restaurant in Albany, and I'm here today to demonstrate to you a risotto. Risotto is a really versatile dish. It can be an entree, it could be a main, it could be a side dish. It's everybody's favorite Italian rice dish. It's a little bit intimidating to do because it does take a lot of technique, but with a few simple ingredients you can make something really amazing. A basic risotto would be aromatics like garlic and onion, arborio rice. You'd have butter as the fat that brings a creamy level to it, and Parmesan cheese. So I'm just going to move over to the cooktop and we're going to put one of these together. I'm going to show you the techniques on how to get a fantastic risotto on the table. So everybody's saying you want to keep safe, you got to wash your hands. This is my mise en place section. I've got everything that I need to do this cook from the start to finish. When I was in chef school, they used to show us these really dodgy videos from the 90s of chefs that I think they were Austrian. They kind of sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. In those videos, they told about the importance of having everything set up so your cook will go really smoothly. So this is what I've done here. To start, I'm going to turn my burner onto a low heat and I'm going to put in some canola oil. You could use olive oil, you could use olive oil and butter. Right, so we're going to put some onions in, maybe about that much. A little bit of garlic. Turn the heat up. You probably want a fair amount of oil so it gets a good coating. And we're going to sweat these off without any color. It might take 1 or 2 minutes to do that. All we're trying to do here is eliminate the acidity in the onions and garlic and bring out some of the natural sweetness. So we're going to add a pinch of salt to that, and what the salt is going to do is it's going to draw out some of the moisture from the onions. Salt is hygroscopic by nature. It means it really likes to grab hold of moisture. By adding salt to the onions, it's going to help the moisture come out because the salt will pull the moisture out and it will saute quicker. It's nothing to do with seasoning. It's looking good. Turn the heat down a little bit. I'd say medium-low at this stage. We're going to add our mushrooms in. Mushroom is something that you can put in at the beginning. Mushroom risotto is really popular. It's really delicious. Mushrooms can stand being boiled in the stock for quite some time. That's okay. So again, we're not looking for any color. We're just looking to sweat those onions off. Okay, that's looking good. I'm going to add my arborio rice in now. When you're cooking pasta, pasta will double in size, but when you're cooking rice, rice will triple in size by the time it's finished. So if you take 1 cup of rice, you'll get 3 cups out of it. I'm putting in about that much. Now we're going to sweat the rice off until it becomes translucent. And the reason that we do that is because rice is really heavy in starch. And the more you cook out a starch, the less thickening power it has. If you don't cook out your rice, the risotto will become really goopy, almost like glue. So we need to sweat the rice off a little bit. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Oh, I can really smell those mushrooms. They smell great. So again, you're trying to avoid any color in the pan. If it does start to catch on the bottom, turn your burner down. If you get a little bit of color, I don't know whether you can see it just there. It's kind of stuck. Some of the starches have stuck. That's okay. That's going to come off in the deglazing section, which is the next step. If you can have a look at the rice, you can see how it's kind of translucent on the outside, but it's still got a white center. That's exactly what we're looking for. I say that this is ready to go. So now we're going to deglaze it with some white wine around the outside. It's always important to boil your wine. Boiling gets rid of that bitter tannic acidity in the wine, and if you don't do that, it'll have like really bitter notes. You're trying to cook those notes out. Beautiful. All right, so the next step is on this burner over here. I've got my chicken stock. And you want your chicken stock to be hot, because if you put your chicken stock in cold, your risotto will also turn out very gluey-like in texture. And that's something you really want to avoid. It'll also be slower as well to cook. So just to speed things up, you put your stock on a burner and you add it in there hot. I'm going to add some. I actually like to add a fair amount to begin with, because this is a reduction cook. This stock is going to cook out, the rice is going to expand, it's going to release its starches, things are going to get a little bit thicker, and it'll take on an almost creamy-like texture. You can see that when we put the stock in, immediately it came to the boil. For this risotto, as the fat part of it, we are going to be using cream. But we'll put that in towards the end of the reduction stage. The other ingredients that we have here are some roasted butternut pumpkin. That's going to give it a beautiful sweet flavour. We've got some asparagus here. We're going to put that in at the end so it retains that really nice fresh colour and also the snappy texture. We're really looking for that. And I have some pre-seared Cajun chicken that I'll be using as well. Let's just have another look at it. Risotto is one of those things where it's all about technique. You can have the best ingredients that money can buy, but if you don't know how to put it together, they don't count for anything. It's starting to look really good. You can see it's kind of coming out. It's getting a little bit thicker as that stock reduces. It's looking really good. So I'm just going to have a look at the rice now, and it's nowhere near done. So I might add just another half ladle of stock. And we'll continue to cook this down. So as I said before, things like chicken, if you put them in at the beginning and you seared them off with your mushrooms, by the time you finish cooking this, they would be well overdone. So it's important to, if you want to add protein, sear them off first and then add them in later. So they're perfectly done by the time the rice is cooked. We'll probably hit the halfway mark right now. You can see the rice has expanded a fair bit. It's taking on that chicken stock. It's exactly what we want. You don't have to stir it. You can swirl the pan like this. But when there's a lot of stock in there, do not do the chef tossing in the pan, because this stuff is like napalm. It will burn you. If it gets a bit thicker and you're a bit confident, you can try and flick it up like this. But not when there's a lot of stock in the pan. Safety first. This is looking beautiful. Just going to try the rice now, just to see how far in we are. It tastes really nice. This chicken stock that I made, I actually made it with chickens that I rotisseried. I saved the carcasses and I put them in the freezer. And it's got this really, really beautiful smoky flavour to it because I cooked them over charcoal on a rotisserie. And those notes are really coming in. Oh, that's really good. So it probably needs just a little bit more, maybe just another half ladle before we start adding some other ingredients in. It's really important not to overcook a risotto. It should really have a kind of al dente bite to it. If you overcook it, it's like mush. It's really not very nice texture. Okay, now I'm going to add a dash of cream, which is my fat component. Just a little bit. I'm going to add some butternut pumpkin. It's been roasted. And I will add some asparagus. And I might hold off adding the chicken in to just a couple of minutes later. Actually, I might add it in now. So a bit of this Cajun chicken. And because this is only half cooked, I've got to make sure that I submerge it into the liquid, so the liquid will finish off the cooking process for that. But have a look at the texture now after we added the cream. Look at that, beautiful. Just add a little bit more stock. Now we're going to add Parmesan cheese to it. That's going to help it to help season it, and it's also going to help it stand up on the plate. Risotto should be really wet, really glossy. It should be able to rest on the plate. You shouldn't be able to render a house with it. It shouldn't be thick. And who doesn't love Parmesan cheese? Look at that. If it became too thick, you can always add more stock to it. It's looking really nice. Just going to put it on a low heat now. I'm going to hit it with a bit of freshly cracked pepper. And the last stage, just for a refreshing note, a bit of freshly chopped parsley. Some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Beautiful. Chicken and pumpkin risotto, done. So if you want to get creative with your risottos, the sky is the limit. Get into your pantry. Whatever you've got on hand, get creative with it. Put it in there. Herbs, spices, the cheeses. You don't have to use just Parmesan cheese. You can use blue cheese. You can use Pecorino Romano. Whatever you've got in hand, you can just chuck it in. Just get creative with it. You can liven things up with purees as well. They're great for making different colored risottos. You can use beetroot risotto. You can use pumpkin risotto. A sweet potato risotto, just using a puree to get those really vibrant colors. It's also great if you're a vegan because you can make a completely vegan puree and you can still get a nice creamy risotto without putting any cream or butter into the risotto. That's great for vegans too. Things like seafood, you can put mussels in, scallops in, you can put any kind of fish in you want to. Just put it in at the end because like I said before, if you put it in too soon, you might have it overcooked by the end of the risotto. Seafood's really delicate. You really have to take care of your seafood. Just do some experimenting, get creative with it, live and learn. You will not regret it, I swear. Okay guys, thanks for joining me. I've had a lot of fun putting these risottos together. If you've got any questions, chuck them up on the comment section and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Just remember the Kitchen Warehouse has got all the tools that I've used here today and more, and you can get them delivered straight to your door. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time.